Hi guys, it's Jamila. Welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a while, but there's been a lot going on in my life and I'll explain that in a whole separate video. Today, I just wanted to help some of you guys out. I have been getting a lot of questions since I posted my day in the life with my new work from home job, and I know a lot of you guys are looking for opportunities like that, especially if you're Muslim women who prefer to be at home or have children. Unfortunately, I got a lot of emails about it. I haven't been able to respond directly, but I can definitely recommend you some great information right now and let you know how to get a work from home job and what I did. Just to get right to the point, the company that you guys saw me working for was Transcom, and this is a company. They have different projects. It just depends on what they have you applying for. I'm working for Transcom in their tech support role, and when you do work with them, you can't say exactly what contract it is or what campaign it is. It is a tech support role. Now, from what I know, they are still hiring, and if I can find the link, I will put it down in the description box. Just a little more information about that. They require that you have hardwired internet, so you will need to be able to plug an Ethernet cable into your router and plug it straight into the computer. You cannot use Wi-Fi at all. You also have to provide your own headset as well, which I just bought a cheap little headset, and they will send you everything else. They sent me a Mac computer as well as a keyboard and a mouse. So that was very helpful and beneficial. So if that's something you're looking for, somewhere where they do provide the equipment for you to do your job, then Transcom is a good choice. It is a on the phone position, so you're on the phone talking to customers, helping them troubleshoot their devices, doing orders for repair and stuff like that. Just generally helping customers and troubleshooting with customers. If that's something that you can do, definitely check it out. Also, with this particular job, the shift types that were offered to me with the job were a split shift schedule, which is working 4 hours in the morning, 4 hours in the evening, and you'll have like about 4 or 5 hours in between. So you're working some in the morning, some in the evening. That was one choice they gave me. Another choice they gave me was a 10-hour shift, 4 days a week with 3 days off. So it would be like 2 days off, and then you work 2 days, off a day, work 2 days. That's how mine was. I don't know if every single 10-hour shift was like that, but that's how that works. I ended up taking the 10-hour shift, and they gave me specifically a 30-minute lunch and 3 15-minute breaks. So if that kind of helps you get an idea of what that was like, or what that is like. The interviewing process was very easy. It was a group interview. They asked, I think, 2 questions each for each person, then pulled us into a breakout room. This was on the computer. Pulled us into a breakout room, and then asked questions just before bringing whoever they chose back into the main room and offering the job on the spot. That's what happened with me. I don't know if that'll happen in every scenario, but yeah, you can also check which states they hire. But I just wanted to get that part out of the way just to express my experience there. But let's just get into how you can find a work from home job. The first step that you want to do is you want to know what type of job you want. So do you want to be on the phone, or do you want a job that's not on the phone? Because I can tell you right now that usually, from what I can tell, unless you have a specialized skill such as having a bachelor's degree and being able to teach, or just having degrees period, a lot of the time you can't really get that many jobs that are off the phone that aren't crunching kind of pennies. And when they do come along, they get snatched up really fast. But if you didn't want to be on the phone, there are like chat jobs and stuff like that where you interact with customers through chat and email and things like that. But I can tell you now, phone jobs are usually where the real money is at. The livable money is usually in chat jobs. So I would suggest, maybe if you're trying to get something immediately, starting off with a phone job and hopefully transitioning to something that's not as phone based. And just an FYI, the Transcom job, I did not have to have a physical phone. The phone was through the actual computer. So But you also want to make sure that you have your resume ready. Something I always try to tell people is that you need to tune your resume for every job you submit or every type of job. So if you're submitting for all of one specific type of job, say you're submitting for customer service, you want that resume to highlight specifically skills that have to do with customer service. So if you're applying for something else like an office job, you want to highlight your skills and make sure it's highlighting things that you would do in an office setting or office administration setting, things like that. That's what I personally do. I have different resumes actually for the different type of jobs that I usually apply for. So I will have a customer service, like call center type of resume. Then I have like an office type of resume, and that's just taking specific skills from each of my job histories and making them highlight exactly what the employer is looking for. So the best way to kind of formulate your resume is to look at different job ads and take specific information from those ads and put it into your resume. Specific words, like keywords that what they're looking for. Don't be obvious, but kind of mix in exactly what they're looking for into your resume. And I'll try to put an example of what my resume looks like onto the screen, but I don't want my details on there, so I'll try to do that a little bit now. But yeah. So the next thing you want to do is set a goal and figure out what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish. You want to get a work from home job. What type of work from home job? Do you want to be on the phone? Do you want to have to buy your own equipment? Do you want them to give you equipment? Determine exactly those details. Are you trying to get a job that's going to send you equipment? Like, figure all that out, and then you have your goal. You've settled it. And then the next thing I want to give you guys, once you figured all of that out, some resources in order to find the work from home job you're looking for. So I used specifically to find work from home jobs, and which is my favorite resource, to be honest with you, is Work at Home Job Queen. It's WAHJOBQUEEN.com. This website is run by a beautiful Black woman, and she provides several leads every day or every couple of days on different work from home job leads that she's found. She says something that's so funny to me, which is like, run, do not walk, every time it's a really hot job lead that she posts. So I just pretty much for about a month or so, I looked over the job leads that she would post, and then I would apply to the ones that interested me as soon as possible. So that's another thing you have to be able to do. When a job lead is posted and you're interested in it, go for it immediately. Have your resume ready, submit it, and apply for that job, because job searching a lot of times takes a substantial amount of time. It takes usually at least like a month to 2 months minimum for me in my experience. So you want to start that process as soon as possible and apply to as many jobs as you can, just so you can kind of kickstart everything with multiple options. I like to have options, so I'll apply to a bunch of things. I'm not about to just apply to one thing and sit there twiddling my thumbs hoping for something to come through. So apply to as many jobs as you're interested in as possible. Just make sure you're keeping track of what you applied to and what you didn't. Work at Home Job Queen is the best, and actually on that website, and I'll try to show you guys a screen recording, but if you kind of go down a little bit, there's a link to her group on Facebook that you can join. And once you join in there, it has like a bunch of people kind of posting inspiration to get hired and giving tips for interviews for specific companies and things like that. So I found that very beneficial and very encouraging, and it's just an amazing group, and I think you guys should join if that's something you're looking for. But yet also, she also posts the job leads right directly into that group as well. So if you're using Facebook, you might as well be using it to get a job. I'm just saying. There are some YouTube channels as well that I follow, and that same lady, she also has a YouTube channel. I will link all the YouTube channels I'm about to mention down below. Her YouTube is also WAH Job Queen. And then another couple of YouTube channels that I like are Lovely Lasean or I don't know how to say it, but lovely Lasean. I'll spell it out right here and I will link it down below. She's a very inspirational woman who posts job leads consistently, so check that out. And just know that a lot of time, you know, some of the job leads may not be in your state or may not be available to you, so you just gotta say that's not it and keep it moving. Another YouTube channel is Melicia At Home. That's another good one. And Theo is another good one. So I'll post all of those YouTube channels down below. They have leads and they may even have vlogs, I'm not sure, but the main one I use is WAH Job Queen. So one thing you want to make sure you're doing when you're searching for jobs is checking the authenticity of the companies. That is solely your responsibility. Somebody can suggest a job to you and it's a suggestion. You have to be able to do your own research, make sure it's a legitimate job lead and that it's a legitimate company and not scammers or anything like that, because they're just trying to provide resources and they may not have the time to check every single one to the T. So you have to be able to research on Google and look up reviews and things like that for that company and job to see if it's something that's good for you. You also want to definitely look out for scams, because there's a lot of scammers out here. They'll be like, oh, I'll send a bunch of packages to your house and you're gonna put labels on them and send it out from your home and stuff like that. Crazy scammer emails where they're like, I'll pay you $3,000 to $5,000 monthly to do this or that. Like, if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. Don't fall for that crap. They're just trying to have you do illegal things for money. Just look for companies that are well known and legitimate. Another suggestion I have when looking for a work from home job is to look for a job during peak seasons, which usually around this time of year is peak season, because a lot of people are hiring people seasonally because the demand is very high for companies at this time. Now, if you don't want a seasonal job and you want a permanent job, maybe you could do a seasonal position for a little while, see if it turns into a long-term opportunity, or just do it temporarily to make you some dough and while you're searching for a different job after peak season is over. But the best time usually to get hired is around this holiday season time, when a lot of companies are looking to bulk up on employees to deal with the high volume of customers that they have during this season. So you can get hired to some companies pretty fast right now, so definitely be on the lookout for that. So in order to work from home, you want to make sure, for a lot of companies they do require this, that you have a space that is quiet and that you can shut the door to. It has to have 4 walls and a door, and it has to be completely quiet. Especially if you're on the phones, you could probably get away with it if you're not on phones talking to customers, but if you are on the phone talking to customers, you're going to need a space that is quiet without background noise, dogs barking, children crying, people talking to you. You can't do that. You definitely want to have a dedicated space that you create for your workspace. It could be in your bedroom, as long as you have usually a desk and a chair. They don't care as long as the door is shut and it's quiet. And one thing you do want to make sure you're doing when you're looking for a work from home job is treat it like you're looking for a job in a building, in a company. You don't want to come to a video interview dressed in your pajamas or holding a child. You don't want to do any of that, because it's unprofessional at home just like it's unprofessional in a official setting. So you want to treat it like it's official, like it's a real job. When you do your video interviews or what have you, you want to make sure you're dressed appropriately. You want to make sure you don't have junk and laundry and underwear in your background to where they can see it. You do not want to do that. So make sure your background is clean, you're wearing nice clothes, or at least from what they can see, you're wearing nice clothes, and just treat it like a real interview, because it is a real interview. You're trying to get a job and get paid for doing work. My last tip here is that you really want to make sure before you go into this realm of work that it is something you want and can handle, and the right environment for you. Because if you're a busybody and you don't like being at home, you're probably not gonna like working at home. If you like to be around people a lot and interact with people, you're probably not gonna like working at home because you're gonna be by yourself or with customers for long periods of time working. So you just want to make sure that it's actually the right setting for you. Look up information for what people say about working from home and their experiences, and kind of gauge from what people say, is that something that you would enjoy or prefer, etc. So definitely you want to look into that and see if it's right for you before you just dive head in, you know? So a lot of research is involved with getting a work from home job, but I believe in you guys. You can do it. You just have to put your mind to it and really be dedicated and constantly apply. And that's how I got my work from home job, and I got it very quickly from the point that I applied and did assessments. And that's another thing, you may have to do assessments. Don't freak out, just do your best. I did the assessment and then I got an interview. I got hired. I started working about 2 to 3 weeks later after they sent my equipment and I put in all my paperwork and everything like that. So you guys definitely put your best foot forward. You can do it. If that's what you want, go for it, and you're gonna get it, inshallah. Just pray about it and be about it. All right guys, I know it's been a while. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Assalamu alaikum and peace out. And don't forget to check the links down below, and if I forget them, please remind me. I'll put them up immediately. Bye.